Welcome to the Emerald Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy Doyle, and on this podcast I speak to different Irish athletes about their highs, their lows, biggest battles, biggest successes, and why they fell in love with their sport. In this episode I chat to Martin Mouse Kavanagh, one of Carlow's greatest hurlers of all time. We speak about how he got the nickname Mouse, the journey to play the Leinster final against Ballyhale Shamrocks, how it felt becoming Carlow's top scorer of all time, and so much more. Without further ado, Martin Mouse Kavanagh. Well, Mouse, thanks very much for coming onto the podcast. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, look, thanks very much for having me on. Looking forward to the old chat now.
Just something curious for myself, I just said I'd start with is, where's the nickname Mouse come from? Kind of a bit of a peculiar nickname, I suppose.
So basically, when I was a few weeks old, my mother will tell you the story better now. But basically, I was asleep. But when I'd wake up, I'd be fierce quiet. I'd never make a noise. So one of Mammy's friends was here one night, and he just said that I was quiet as a mouse. So basically, since I've been a few weeks old, it's been with me since till now. So it's not going anywhere.
Jeez, yeah, because I'd heard the name Mouse so many times, but I actually had to check in once or twice, just reading the paper or just hearing Martin is just so different. Every time I've heard it's just Mouse.
It's because a few people call you Martin, and if I wouldn't really answer them, I'd have to call me a few times to answer them. I just wouldn't be used to it at all. Which sure,
yeah, no, if you had to pick, Mouse is not too bad when you hear some of the other names people be called anyway. Tell me about St. Mullins, I suppose. Great club growing up. How was that for you?
Yeah, look, very lucky where I grew up, I suppose, and the club I was brought into. I suppose like any club, it's just the hurling means so much to the parish, and we're no different. I suppose history-wise, it's a successful club, and the club that you have to win, and if you don't win, it's a failure. So obviously that's a good club to go into as well. So lucky enough, we have to have some plenty of good days too, and. So far in my career, I grew up watching great St. Mullins teams, and my uncles would have played, my father would have played, and cousins or whatever, and we're no different now. We just buy into it, and the next generation will buy into it too. That's just the way it goes. But we're very lucky that the club absolutely love where I'm from, love who I play for, and thankfully we've been successful enough, so hopefully it can continue.
Yeah, it's lovely, I'd say, having the culture of, having parents play or uncles or cousins is great having it around. And then obviously winning as well, because I think I look at some clubs sometimes and you have that, but you don't win anything. And it's always kind of difficult when that doesn't happen too. I would just say the most successful time was maybe the Leinster final. I know it's probably, sorry to bring it up now, but with Ballyhale that time, was that kind of, I suppose, the most success you've probably had or close to it?
Yeah, with regards club, definitely, yeah. That was a brilliant year, a brilliant journey, I suppose. And obviously we came up against an unbelievable Ballyhale team, unfortunately for us, because we gave them a right good game that day, and we missed one or two chances when it was close, really asked serious questions of them. They just pushed ahead then in the last 20 minutes or so in the match, and sure, look, that team would probably go down as the greatest team, of that time. I think they won 3 All-Irelands in a row, it's unbelievable stuff. But that's great memories for us, and I suppose that's what brings you back to the club too the following year. You try to get them moments. That's why you push separate train, you push the boundaries to the maximum to try get those moments every year. And look, we're lucky enough after winning 2 counties since, and after losing a couple too, but won one recently enough there. So look, we have another Leinster journey coming up in November, and hopefully we can who knows. Look, we never know, and we will fancy ourselves to put it anyone on our day. So hopefully we can someday get back there. So look, you have to have that dream too, So we're looking forward to getting back into it now in November, the Leinster club.
Yeah, just so close, but as you said, they're just Ballyhale. Sometimes you have to take your hat off. A great team, so good. And did you do anything different that year? Because I know you've been quite successful with St. Mullins, but that particular year, was there anything special or different, or did it just kind of work out?
No, I think it just worked out. To be fair, thinking back on it, in the semi-finals, we played Ballyhale semi-final, and they had us dead and buried, in the semi-final. And we scored the last puck of the game. We scored a goal to bring it to extra time, and we won extra time. And then we played the county final the following week, and we were missing 1 or 2 lads from suspensions and stuff, and we weren't given a hope going up to the county final. And sure, we won by a point, and and sure, kind of took off from there then. But sure, we played Coola then in the first round, and sure, we weren't given a hope against Coola either. Obviously, a successful Dublin club, and they won a Club of Ireland as well not so long ago as well. And we probably rode our luck at the start of that match. They missed a few chances. They kept us in the game. And then we just got confidence. And then we in the second half, then we have a real chance of this now. Like, so, and we grew in confidence. And sure, when we're playing like that in confidence, we were matched for anyone. So yeah, it just kind of took off from the county final, I suppose. And obviously we had a great game in Carlow against Rathdowney early in the semi-final. That was actually, it was on the telly actually, that game, and people still talk about it to this day. It was a cracking game, and we got on the right side up by a point as well. So yeah, just brilliant memories, you know. And sure, as I said, like you'd be hoping someday we can get back there again.
Definitely a great journey for you, and I know, as you said before, just to do it with friends and stuff like that just makes such a difference too. Like, and yeah, as you said, you have to just strive to do it again, and hopefully you can. It's great, even just, I love watching when an underdog kind of comes through, because you're maybe not thinking yourselves in Carlow, like you're always looking at Ballyhale, Coola, the stronger teams. So it's really good to see, like I say, Bullens come through that year. Tell me, regards becoming Carlow's top scorer, what was that like feeling wise? And I suppose, don't be too modest now, but how proud were you, I suppose, or what sort of feeling was that?
You know, I'm very proud of it. To be honest with you, I didn't know anything about it until I got a text about it maybe a game or two before I actually broke it. I hadn't a clue where I was on the charts, or I wouldn't be. I wouldn't know, or I wouldn't keep an eye on it. Stuff wouldn't bother me at all, to be honest with you. But obviously, then when I passed it, obviously it was great. You know what I mean? It's nice to pass it. Obviously, you're very proud of it, and I suppose I'll probably be more proud of it when I stop playing. I haven't thought about it much, to be honest with you. Obviously, people will say it to you here and there, and obviously, look, it's nice. It's a lovely one to have. And as I said to you, probably in a few years' time when I stop playing and I step away from it, like then it really hit home, I suppose, that how nice it is to do that, like, you know.
Yeah, no, it's unreal feat to get, just to get so many scores that you have, and for your own county, you say as well. Just must be such a feeling. I love the way you say you don't check, because me myself, I always think that lads are rushing for the paper or just rushing to the website to see whereabouts you are. But what with regards to Carlow, because I know you drew with Kilkenny last year, and I've seen you've put in some like great games, let's say, and really kind of, I suppose, put it up to the stronger teams, let's say. What do you think it might be stopping you just from doing that more, bridging the gap? Because I know it's easy to say bridge the gap, but actually doing it is, I suppose, is so much harder.
Look, it's probably the club scene in Carlow. Like, it wouldn't be wonderful. Like, as we've only 5 senior clubs, that's probably the big reason, really. To be honest with you, you're kind of picking up the same pool of players there for the last, 10 years. Like, we're lucky enough with a kind of crop of players came there, and we're being very successful. We won a few Joe McDonoughs, we won a Christy Ring, we got promoted in the league. As you said, we drew to Kenny, we drew to Galway. We had some really good days out, like, and just the club scene, I suppose, the big thing. You're kind of picking there from the same players, but at the same time, look again in a few years' time when you sit back and look at it, it's been unbelievable achievement, really, from the county and from the clubs, for what they have achieved. Such a small county, such a small pick, like. But yeah, look, we've having some great days. As I said, really, really lucky with the group of players. Really, really, like top lads, top players. Like, really would put a lot of lads would make a lot of county teams in Ireland, like, and we've after having a great few years. Unfortunately, got relegated last year. Had a great day against Kilkenny. And we actually we ran everyone close, bar Wexford. Wexford turned it on that day and took us to the cleaners, to be honest with you. Nothing anything else, but it's a pity because we got relegated, whereas another year up would brought us on another, you know what I mean? We would have learned a lot from the year gone, and I suppose a bit of a flaw in it, like, that you're going straight back down now, because they're talking about promoting hurling in the weaker counties, but sure, they're kind of talking about it, but not doing anything about it either, like, do you know what I mean? So look, all we can do is our best, and and which we are doing. And look, we'll go back at it again at the end of the year, and we'll put the shoulder to the wheel again for the year ahead, and we'll try to get Carlow back up into Lee McCarthy again. That's all you can do.
Yeah, you can just, I suppose, just keep going. But I know what you're saying, regards if you just had another year to build on it and play against the stronger teams, it obviously is going to make it so much better. I do wonder sometimes why they don't let some of the teams up and just let them compete. because the Carlows, the Antrims have shown well enough that they can show up and compete, and it's going to benefit them and the weaker teams. Sometimes I don't see the real value, of it for them, but
yeah. They're on about there, like if you just throw everyone in together, or like do you know what I mean? And just play everyone. Like, sure, wouldn't it be great to be playing all those matches for every county? Yeah, of course you could get bet with 20 points, and it's one of the days. But sure, what about it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're the teams you want to be playing, like, and big crowds, and that's what it's all about. But hopefully, look, sometime down the line it might change.
Yeah. Sometimes I think with GA we could be waiting a while, but hopefully there'll be some action to go in and to do it.
Yeah.
Tell me this, just as I suppose you're an inspiration yourself in Carlow, what advice would you give, I suppose, to a young hurler coming up if he wants to be the next Mouse Kavanagh, just or to build on the skills? What advice would you give?
Look, I suppose probably just practice makes practice. Like, I suppose it's probably a cliche too, but I just remember when I was young, like the hurl was like an extension of my arm. Like, it just was I never left it out of my hand. Like, it was just constantly in it. And suppose that's it. Like, and if you're doing that and you're hurling the whole time, like, you'll be fine. Like, do you know what I mean? You'll get to where you want to be, and you'll get to play senior for your club, and then you'll get to your county, play for county. And lucky enough, I've done both, and I've loved it. Hard to believe now. We're coming kind of not to the end, but when you're 20, 21, you think it'll never come. You'll be playing forever, but sure, obviously there'll be a few years now, kind of left now. So just enjoy the last few years. We'll see. But no, just practice makes perfect. Bring the hurl everywhere with you, even if you're anywhere you're going, down to for a swim, bring it with you. Have a few pucks then after the swim, or like that. That's all we ever done when we were young lads. But I suppose this day and age now they have a lot more than we had growing up. So probably a little bit harder now but look, it's hopefully that's all I'd say. Just practice makes perfect.
Makes perfect. And speaking of that, because I know you're obviously an excellent free taker. Like, would you been practice frees every day? Would you go twice a week, or what way would you usually work it?
I suppose when I was younger, I would have practiced a lot more probably than now. Now, like, for training, I might go train maybe for an hour before training and get out there and be taking frees, And if I'm not really comfortable with them, then I might add another day or two in, on my own, up to the picture myself. I wasn't comfortable taking frees. I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't really happy the way I was striking them there in the club championship this year. And the morning of the county final, I was up taking frees. The morning, just because, just to get a few frees in and just kind of feel a bit more comfortable. Because sometimes that's the way they can go. You take them all your life, but they're not simple. Like, everyone kind of says there's a free shot goal, but sure, it's obviously there's a lot of pressure on them too. But like, you kind of have to love that pressure too, like, and not be afraid to miss them either, like, which I don't like. And you kind of like, you have to enjoy that, being that person to step up, like,
Yeah, to do it. Yeah, I don't envy when I'm watching. It's very easy to say, oh well, look, he scored 10 frees, sure, it's a free shot. But when you're there stepping over the ball, it's a completely different scenario. It's great being on the ditch when the ball goes wide and saying, Asher, how did you not put that over the bar? But it's really not that easy. Tell me, if, let's say, for some reason or another, like, Carlow couldn't win the All-Ireland this year, who do you think Limerick will bounce back, or what way do you see it going this year?
Yeah, I can see Limerick winning now this year, to be honest with you. In fairness, like, it's a fierce competitive championship now, like,
Yeah.
Limerick where I've been on. I actually thought Limerick would win it now this year. I thought they'd do the five, like, because obviously it's hard to be history, and it's hard to get over the line to be history, like, I suppose. And Kilkenny were stopped and Limerick were stopped there as well. I don't think it'll ever be done, to be honest with you, if neither of those teams done it, because like, it's hard to get there, to even go for 5 in a row. Like, obviously to win 4 in a row is unbelievable. Win 1 is unbelievable. To win 4, but if I had to pick, I think Limerick will bounce back. I think there's something about them to have that in them to bounce back, but should they have that tough Munster Championship to get out of 2 first, so it's obviously a lot harder for them to get through, obviously, than the Kilkenny or the Galways or the Wexford of this world. For the Munster teams, there's a lot tougher. But if I had money now, I'd go down and put on Limerick, to get back there and win it this year or next year. Sorry.
Yeah, it just seemed like a machine, don't they? Just so hard to stop.
Yeah.
And just as you were saying, coming back each year, just as hungry to go back and win it again. How do you find that even inter-county wise? Like, do you find with the demands now and what it takes, turn up all the time, do you find, does it drain you any time, or do you find it tough? Or
yeah, I would. I'm not going to be honest with you. I would. I find it tough. Look, obviously the split season, it's I suppose the new thing in the last few years. Like it has pros and cons. Like, absolutely it does. Like, obviously the matches are great. Like, but for the likes of us, you're kind of picking from the same players. Obviously, the bigger counties you can rotate a lot more, and like we're trying to match Kilkenny, Wexford, Galway, like, and it just takes so much out of you. Like, you're trying, and you come down off that game, and you're trying to get your body right for next Saturday, and you have to go out again. And it's brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but it takes so much out of the body. Like, I'd like another week. Like, I'd like 2 weeks. I'd like a week off to get right to go again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like, the matches are great, but I don't think there's a need for the week on either, like, to be honest.
Yeah, it's too much.
Because the club is the same here with our club. I know Wexford was as well. They're changing this year. They're kind of gone back football hurling this year.
For a bit of a break.
We were like that, and I actually preferred that just because a few niggly injuries you're caught, like, as well, like, you're hoping that you don't get injured because you're gone then. So I'd like a bit more spaced out just for that reason. Just to get the body. You don't want to be going into these games looking for juice to get going. Like, you want to be going in full of health, like, and some days you're going in and you're a bit flogged, like, and obviously you want to be at your maximum playing those games. But look, it is what it is. It's fine too. Do you know what I mean? It's matches too, as long as you're not getting injured, you're fit. Like, you'd be happy enough.
You're not too bad. And as you say, the pool of players is short. It just makes it so much harder because you're obviously important, so that they need you there and they need you 100%. But if you're constantly going, it's hard to be 100%.
Exactly.
And what way, in Carlow, I suppose the structure, do you have, because I'm not too familiar with it, to be honest, is it just hurling only clubs? Is there a mixture of dual clubs, or what way does that work?
I know there will be dual clubs, yeah. Like, we never played football until a couple of years ago. We're actually up intermediate football now. So ourselves, Rangers will be dual senior. Michael will be intermediate football and senior hurling. Bangstown will be dual senior as well. And then you have Ballinkillen, which would be Fenna. They'll be intermediate football. And then, majority of players probably will be playing both. Yeah, look, I suppose, you'll hear different opinions of it. Like, I wouldn't be that big into I play a bit of football, but I wouldn't be big into it. But obviously, maybe the football lads who like to go home will like it. Do you know what I mean? So, as I said, there's pros and cons to both of it. And you can't please everyone. So, I don't know where you get the happy in the middle. Like, I don't know where you get that. And you will never get it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because lads get out straight away if you don't get the county scene. That doesn't get enough coverage. And then if the club players are not getting enough time, then the players, somebody's unhappy. So you're never going to, I don't think we're ever going to be happy.
No, you'll never get it. Like, so look, it is what it is.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fix is, but we'll let the lads on the big bucks, I suppose, try and solve that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, Mouse, thanks very much for coming on. It's been great to chat to you. Yeah. And as I said before, you're definitely been an inspiration to a lot of lads for hurling. And geez, I know I've enjoyed watching the hurling, and keep it going. And the best of luck for the coming year.
Yeah, thanks a million, Christy, for having me on. I really appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Emerald Athlete podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to leave a review. And don't forget to check out our Instagram page, the Emerald Athlete Podcast.